Hello everyone. It feels like it's been a while. I want to give you an update with our garden. The flowers are starting to bloom again after they withered last month. And right now, we're just trying to plant vegetables as much as we can. I know that it's a long process still to revive the vegetable garden, but I guess we will have to enjoy the journey. I honestly love to witness the seasons of the plants, the times when they grow, when they bloom, and when they wither, because I can always associate it to our lives. We also have our seasons. For example, this time, I am very new to my job. I am working at night now, so even with the schedule, I'm still adjusting. And this is the moment where I felt uncomfortable, struggling, and even overwhelmed with everything that I am doing for the first time. But having this uncomfortable feeling can make me grow. And I know that this is not just for a new job, but this also applies to every new beginning. Whether it's a new place, new environment, or even a new status in life. It's a normal response that when we are stepping into a new beginning, we felt excited but also overwhelmed and even struggling. But a season will come too, where the things that were struggling before felt like a routine and we felt comfortable. But as what I have observed to myself and even to the people around me, that there is also a danger to this season. Because this is a time where we felt confident with our abilities, when we rely to ourselves, to our own understanding, and to what we can do, rather than acknowledging and relying to God. And apart from that, there are also times in our lives where we felt stagnant, and oftentimes it can lead to a feeling of ungratefulness. And these days, I have been reminded to be really thankful and be grateful in whatever seasons that I have in my life. Whether it's a season to grow, it's a season to bloom, and even to seasons where I need to suffer and be uncomfortable. So this morning I decided to make a yellow rice with beans. So first we will simmer the spices in the pan, and then we will add the beans. I used baked beans, but you can use whatever beans that you have available there, and we will let it cook. After a while, we will add water, just enough to cook the rice. We will let it boil, and we can already add the rice. And that's it. We can let it cook slowly. So I picked up my old cross-stitch pattern that my sister gave me 3 years ago, and for a long time I couldn't finish it. It seems a lot of work actually. I studied the patterns, the numbers, and the letters, and again, wow, it's so complicated at first, and maybe that's the reason why I have this for a long time but never really finished it. But today I decided to work on it, even little by little. It seems impossible for me to finish the cross-stitch pattern, especially that I'm still a beginner, but I want to try finishing it for the next video. So, we will see you then. And we also went to the thrift store that we have in our neighboring town, and we love visiting there since we can find a lot of treasures. For this visit, we particularly find some picture frames for the paintings of my sister. For me, I want to buy one for my unfinished cross-stitch project. I am truly mesmerized with this art. This is like cosmoses in a frame, and it's so beautiful. So my sister decided to paint the odd-looking wall in our living room, and it's wonderful to see something plain and unadorned can turn into unexpectedly beautiful after a little touch of creativity, and how the legends can make a difference in our home, even in just a little thing. I want to read some portion of chapter 3 in Ecclesiastes that can remind us to trust God in every season in our lives, because everything has its time. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Whatever season that you are in now, I am hoping that you can learn how to trust God and to be patient as we wait for Him.